So you're ready to enter the workforce, right? Well, whether you're looking for your first job, have been out of work for a period of time, or want to transition into a new job position, we have the folks you need to talk to on this edition of Triad Perspectives. Hello and welcome to Triad Perspectives. I'm Sandra Hughes, your host. Have you ever heard of the long, hard road to success? Well, it can certainly come in different forms for different people. Joining me now is Joyce Edwards, who is the Executive Director of Career Services at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, and Zeb Talley III, who is a career counselor here at A&T. Welcome to you both. I'll tell you, I've known Joyce since she was a little girl. Yes, I was still grown then. But
she's awesome, too.
She is awesome. Awesome. Career Services. Where is Career Services, and what is it all about?
Well, Career Services, our physical location is Suite 101 Murphy Hall. However, we are available through the internet 24/7. The purpose of Career Services is to provide a wide range of services and programs to aid our students in entering the workplace. We prepare them to enter into the workplace. We bring employers here to help them in their job search. We also have a wide variety of jobs listed on our website. Mm-hmm. So we can't help every student in the same way, but we feel we have services to help all the students here at North Carolina A&T.
So Zeb, how many students come in not really knowing what they want to do?
More students come in not knowing than students come in that do know, and that's okay. One thing that we do, Dr. Hughes, is we really encourage students to take the necessary steps to figure that out. We explain to them that it is perfectly normal to be 17, 18, 20, 21 and not have a clue of what you want to do with your life. I'm far from that age, and some days I don't know what I want to do. So it is perfectly okay, but we have the resources to help them discover what they can do with their major and give them some options.
So how many of these young people, like I have a 13-year-old granddaughter, that are pushing their child in a certain direction? Is that good or bad?
It can be good and bad. I come from a family of educators, so everybody in my family teaches or has been in administration. I didn't want to teach. I think kids are a little crazy, and so I wasn't sure that was my route. However, I enjoy developing students, and so it is an aspect of education. And so I use that example a lot with students who come here, who are sent here to be certain disciplines, to get them to understand that you could end up with a career that has elements of that discipline, but it could be something else. And so it's just important that at some point they figure out what their passion and purpose is, and then they pursue it.
So now, do you go out looking for students, or do they just come and find you?
Well, a lot of students who are familiar with our office and our services, they will come to us knowing that we are there to help them. But it's also important for us to reach out to students, and we do that in a variety of ways. As I said, we have I feel a very, very good website with a lot of resources on it. So we send out information driving students to their website, and we also try to reach them through social media and those kinds of things. We try to reach them through radio, and I think this show right here will help us also reach some of our students. So, and we also have satellite hours. We know that we can't stay behind our desks and reach out to students, so we go out to the various schools and colleges on campus so that we can have some FaceTime with our students.
Now, Joyce just mentioned social media.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, that's a biggie right now.
It is.
Right?
It's a big deal, and more employers than not are paying attention to the social media profiles of our students. We attempt to educate students. Our students are adults. We treat them like adults, and we tell them that there is a repercussion for making grown-up decisions. And so when they
now break that down a little
Sure,
more.
sure. So when they set up a social media account, everything that is on their account becomes part of what is called public domain.
Like
which
their
means,
private life?
Absolutely. Their private life, their relationship status, the pictures with the Yorkie, whatever it is, spring break photos. It
the
becomes
glamour shots.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You know, selfies, and I like selfies. I'm into all of that. But at the end of the day, all of that is going to be evaluated against their ability to represent an organization.
So our employers really looking that closely at
They
social
are
media?
absolutely looking at social media. They are not only looking at social media, Dr. Hughes, they are actually determining whether or not offers are extended based on social media profiles. That is a very real fact.
And that's not always the way it's been, though, Joyce, right?
Oh, no. Before social media, everything was dependent upon the background check and that interview and resume. But because of the way the world operates today, everything is taken into consideration.
And that I tell my students all the time, if you are an A student in school all day, but then you go out and party on Saturday night and get some not so great pictures taken of you because everybody has a camera.
Everybody has a camera, and you don't ever know
who
who that one person is that can take that shot, that can make a difference in your career.
Absolutely.
You really don't.
Where are our students mainly going when they leave school? Is there any one or two careers that they seem to be focused on?
Well, we have a number of our students that go into the healthcare profession. And it doesn't necessarily mean that in the healthcare arena, rather, you don't necessarily have to be a nursing student to enter in that particular industry. We have a number of our students that go into education. And of course, a number of them go into engineering. We have a number of our students that will go into public relations with the organization. But when that first job as a public relations person is not the person in charge of the department. So you will go in as an intern, especially if you've done had a summer internship. That will be extremely helpful. The teaching area is wide open right now. There's a lot of need for teachers, and of course you have accounting, manufacturing jobs. Manufacturing means that you're supervisors in the manufacturing facility. And in any job, most companies will send you through a training process, a rotation, where you're getting to know different businesses within that industry or within that particular company. And then once you go through that rotation, you will be placed in something more permanently.
I heard a human resources person say to me, it's hard to keep a really smart, talented worker at your company. They say they're 3 to 4 years and then they move on to a bigger company, company. Is that still happening?
I think so in some instances. That's why it's so important that companies give students challenging jobs or challenging responsibilities, more or less. And I think it's important that employers let students know that there's a career track here. Because once a student get to a point where they feel there's no place for them to go, then that's when they leave out. So I think that career path shown early in the student's employment helps that student stay there a little longer. But yeah, students, a day of staying someplace for 30 years is no longer, because our students want to go, they want to go to the next job, the better job, the location. I like this location. I've been trying to work towards this location for a long time. So
I was at WFMY for 40 years, and I will be at A&T for 40 more. Yeah, right. So what about the resumes? That seems to be a very important piece of paper.
It's still important. It's still important, even though our society is highly digitalized. It is still important. It's a document that is going to be used to form first impressions. And
what's the most important thing on that resume?
I would say, I would probably say the format of the resume from an appearance standpoint. When you look at it from the perspective of a recruiter who is a Fortune 1 or 500 company or enterprise, who receives thousands of resumes daily, those recruiters don't have time to read those resumes. No. So oftentimes it is a first glance, first look, right? And so if text is on a resume and things aren't properly aligned, or they're blatant misspelled words like agricultural, that's problematic. They won't spend the time to review the document. They'll pass it along and go to the next one. And keep in mind, Dr. Hughes, and I'm sure you know this, 11 to 13 seconds is all it really takes to just review a document, to spot check it for formatting, for spelling, for neatness.
Yes, I've seen papers where the title is misspelled, so what's the point of reading the rest?
That's right, especially in a competitive organization. And so we really try to get this generation to understand that document is your first interview. It is your first interview. It is your first informal interview before you get a chance to have a sit-down conversation.
Now you have career fairs all the time to help students. look at what's going on? Tell me about the one you do.
Well, we have 4 or 5 major career fairs. 2 of them are inclusive of all majors that attend A&T. One will be for education and liberal arts students. One will be for students interested in graduate school. Because we know that there are a number of students in psychology, sociology, and some of the social work need to go to graduate school. So we offer that program to help out in that way. The largest fair that we have is in the fall, our Career Awareness Fair. This past year we had 185 employers that participated in that fair, the largest one that we've had in several years. We had employees from across the United States there. And one of the things I think that it's key for a student in order for him or her to be successful at a career fair is homework prior to. If a student goes over to the career fair and they haven't looked at the list of employers to see who is there interested in them, they're going to leave and say, oh, I came, there was nobody looking for me. So that prep work is very important. And all of that information is on our website. We tell students what to expect at the career fair, how to dress for career fair, what questions to start off with to introduce themselves, and we list all of the employers. This past career fair, we had about 45 employers looking for all majors in general. So, and even though a company may not be looking specifically for you or for your major, here at A&T, they may be looking for that major at other schools. That's why research is so important. You go out there, you do your research, and you find out how you fit in, and you approach those employers first.
Does a student have to have like a 3.4 point average to get a good job?
No, ma'am, they don't. It's a total package deal. There are some companies that have specific GPA requirements, and that's just the reality of the search. However, we encourage students to be the total package. I'm not a 3.5 student. I was not a 3.5 student in undergrad. But there are other things students can work on to make sure that they are competitive candidates. Most of our students, Dr. Hughes, don't struggle with creating a resume. They struggle with communication skills, presenting
and not
themselves.
This.
Bingo. Yes, ma'am. You know, presenting themselves and being able to make presentations, present themselves from a professional dress standpoint. All of those things also matter as well.
Yeah,
so it's a total
that's a
package.
battle I face here. You know, when I say come dressed professionally, my daughter says, Mommy, most students don't know what you're talking about, professional
That's exactly
dress.
right. That's exactly right.
Like I don't usually have students dressed like you in my classroom.
Well, thank you, Doctor. That's a humbling compliment from you.
Well, could you please loan that to someone?
Sure thing.
So
sure
we're going to do
thing.
things
Yes,
on
ma'am.
the air.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm excited about where you're going. Anything brand new coming up for career services that we don't know about?
We have a few things that's happening, and I would like for Zeb to talk about those things,
Sure.
such as our app.
Sure, we are. We have an app now where students can actually download all of the information relating to our career fairs, as well as apply for job opportunities through their cell phone.
Okay.
And so cell phone, iPad.
Okay,
you know,
I'll
we
give
have,
in.
Yeah, we have attempted to be and reach the students where they are. And so, you know, in addition to being connected with us on social media, they can find those opportunities through that app. That app is also essential for our career fairs. We've got the spring fair coming up in February. Okay. So students will be able to download the app, see who's registered, and start doing the research. And
you two have been delightful today.
Pleasure.
Enjoyed talking
Pleasure was
to
ours.
you. Thank you so much, Joyce. Great to see you
Nice to
again.
see
It's
you
been
as
a
well.
long
Thank
time.
you
And
so
Zeb,
much.
Pleasure
thank
meeting
you for
you.
working with our students.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you both. We're going to take a brief break right now, and when we come back, we'll be joined by a long-standing member of our community who's been a goodwill for folks who really need some help. That's coming up, and also we'll look later on at some people who've been helping us for a very long time since I was a child in this community. You're watching Triad Perspectives. Stay with us.
This is the North Carolina A&T State University Historical Minute. I'm Marilyn Parker. The Dudley Memorial Building houses more stone applications than any other building on A&T's campus. A sweep of 15 stones guide visitors to the main entrance. Built in 1893, the original facility contained a library, an auditorium, and administrative offices. In 1930, a fire led to a reconstruction, and the facility was renamed after A&T's second president, James B. Dudley. Today, the building is home to the Maddie Reed African Heritage and H.C. Taylor Art Galleries, music classrooms, and laboratories. The Dudley Memorial Building is located on the east side of campus, directly behind the statue of the A&T 4 and right across from Dudley Road.
Welcome back to Triad Perspectives. With me now is Melinda Bernard, and she's joining me from a place that you all know, I'm sure. It's called Goodwill, but it's not only famous for finding those great things you want to buy or to give things away. They're actually helping people find jobs. So Melinda Bernard is the Career Center Coordinator for Triad Goodwill. It's nice to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hughes.
Now, I've been donating stuff to Goodwill for years, like I'm sure people do. And even once in a while you go in there and look for those great treasures. But the other treasure a lot of people don't know about is your job counseling. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we provide career development services. We provide, every center that we have has a certified professional resume writer. Typically, if you go to a professional to get your resume written, it's going to be about $200 to $1,000, depending on what industry you're in and depending on your professionalism. So we provide those services for free. Every center has a certified professional resume writer. We also provide workshops that are specific to what's trending, what's new, what's hot, what's good for you, what is going to develop yourself professionally. And each center also has a network room where we can provide additional support as far as basic computer skills. We partner with so many different community partners just to develop the needs of the community as far as a job seeker is concerned.
So what's hot right now?
Social media.
Oh,
Social
my goodness.
media. You hear it all over the place. Social media is a very trending topic at this point in time, and developing yourself to portray that on social media and using that free service.
Well, but what do you mean portray myself on social media?
Portraying yourself as a professional person, you know, if you're going, depending on what type of industry that you're going into, you always want to think about something outside of the box, something that you can be competitive with another person that has applied to the same position.
And so obviously the people who you're working with will go over that with you and help you take out what shouldn't be in there.
And we do. We also provide career counseling, and that's very specific to your needs. It's a one-on-one session where we'll provide just any question that you ask. You know, we'll provide answers to. We do a lot of research as far as what is going to aid you on your journey as being a job seeker.
Now, just before you came on, we talked to some counselors, college counselors or university counselors, about students who don't quite know what they want to do. Who are the people you help? The students who have graduated, people who are homeless, people who have been out of work for a while?
Our demographic is wide. We help any individual from the age of 16 to after retirement, and think about what you want to do after retirement, turning your hobby into an actual job.
You mean down the road?
Down the road, absolutely. So we help any individual, any job seeker.
So suppose a person has been, let's say, homeless and without a job for a year or two. Can you help that person?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like, what do you do with them?
Well, first of all, we want to get a resume for you. That's very important. A resume is the initial piece of paper that any employer is gonna sum you up and decide whether or not you get that face-to-face time. So that's the first step that we're gonna take, is develop a resume for you.
For a homeless person?
Absolutely. And it's interesting because we can actually assess different skills that you have that will be transferable in order for a homeless person to be able to obtain a position.
And what about those that have been incarcerated for a while?
We have a specific program built for those individuals. It's called JOTO. Jobs on the Outside is the acronym. And so that class is specific to those needs of someone that actually possesses a criminal background. It's very important because the person that conducts the actual coordinator or director of that program, he has been in those shoes. So that's a very personal experience.
So I guess what you're saying is it doesn't matter what your circumstances might be.
Does not matter.
You might be able to help that person.
Absolutely.
And do you have any idea how many people you're putting to work?
I believe last year in our fiscal year, I want to say it was about 4,000 people
4,000.
that we helped obtain positions.
That's wonderful.
That is wonderful.
Is there any one particular position or career or job that you put people into?
Not necessarily. We have 495 business partners. Those are employers. Every industry, anything that you can think of, from blue collar, white collar, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, we want to help you get back to work. And that's our main goal, because a lot of people do not realize that 85 cents of every dollar that's donated to the store goes back into helping people find jobs.
That's great. That is absolutely great.
Absolutely.
And it's nice for people to know that too. When we had our career counsels on earlier, they said, you know, young people get started looking for jobs, 16 years old. I went to work when I was 14. Wasn't a great job, but, but my parents said, you will work. And so do you actually work with a lot of young people, teenagers?
We do. You know, we've worked with high schools to get them initially started, even with their volunteer experience, adding that to their resume. Building that resume to get you those transferable skills is something that we see that is very important.
So do you kind of stick with a person after you get them started?
Yes, we like to. It just depends on what type of relationship they want to establish. Of course, we don't want to be intrusive, so we want to say, if you need the help, we're here.
Come on back. How many people are you helping per year? You have any idea?
Per year, I believe last year, in our fiscal year, I believe it was about 18,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Men, women?
Men, women, all.
So not one gender or another?
No, it's
Yeah.
a very wide range of demographic.
So if someone wants to get in touch with you to talk about, how do I get a job? I don't know what I want to do. I just want a job. Where do they start with you?
They can contact us. Our contact information is on triadgoodwill.org. And they can find any of our centers there. We have 2 in Greensboro. One is the Community Resource Center on Eugene Street, and the second one is on North Elm Street, 3519 North Elm Street.
Okay, well, good. Thank you very much, Melinda, for
Thank you
joining
for
us.
having us.
And keep having those folks come in to see. Go see her. Get a job. Okay,
Thank
you a lot. We want to take another quick break now, but when we come back, we're going to talk about 2 people from our community from way back when I was a child who helped a lot of people with their health. And it's an anniversary coming up, so stay tuned for more Triad Perspectives.
This is an A&T Historical Minute, and I am William Robson. The Corbett Sports Center opened December 3rd, 1978. It is named after Ellis F. Corbett, a 1931 graduate of A&T. Officially known as Mr. A&T, his official title was Sports Information Director. He performed many other roles on campus, including dorm counselor, and he was a member of the board in control of intercollegiate athletics. The 3-story complex includes office space, classrooms, and 2 racquetball courts, in addition to an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Corbett also houses many of the human performance and leisure study courses at A&T. The Corbett Sports Center is the current home of the North Carolina A&T men and women's basketball teams and the swimming team. This has been a Historical Minute, and I am William Robson.
Welcome back to Triad Perspectives. With me now is Sandy Ellington, the media coordinator of the Guilford County Public Health Division. So welcome, Sandy. Nice to have you with us today.
Nice to be here.
And I want to tell you that she called me and told me about an event that's coming up and asked if she could come out to Triad Perspectives to help promote it. And we are thrilled that you knew about our show and wanted to be a part of it. So pass the word along, if you will. Now tell me about this great anniversary happening.
Well, we have a community health center on Martin Luther King Drive, Junior Drive in Greensboro. It is the Evans-Blount Community Health Center, and it is our 5th celebration, our 5th birthday celebration. The Community Health Center was actually dedicated on November the 19th on 2010, and it was named for 2 very prominent Southeast Greensboro physicians, Dr. Blount and Dr. Evans, and we wanted to honor them with naming the Health Community Center after them. And so we want to get together and celebrate, and we're doing that by having free health screenings for the residents in that area.
Great.
We're going to be doing free blood pressure, free glucose. We're going to do HIV screening, but we're also going to do some fun things. We're going to have some exercise. We're going to do some Zumba. We're going to do some yoga. We're going to give away Foot Locker gift cards. We're going to give away produce.
Sounds great.
We're actually going to have some fun while we try to
Sounds
get
like a
people
fair.
healthy. It
Yeah.
is actually a health fair.
Yeah.
Because we want people to come out and be involved in the community and just to see what's going on out there.
You know, Dr. Blount took care of my family from when I was a child. He was our family doctor, parents, children, everybody, and we just adored him, and still do.
Still do,
So,
yes.
so I'm excited about this fair,
Well,
and
good.
certainly hope it is as successful as you want. Any vision for that particular community center?
Well, actually, the health center focuses on adult care because there are a lot of centers around that can actually care for children. So we want to actually work with the adults there because we know they have some chronic diseases, diabetes, some kidney failure issues, some high glucose. So we really want to work with them, and we want there to be their primary medical home. So we want them to know that we're there so that we can actually provide medical services for them.
So they can, in other words, instead of looking around town trying to find a physician, they can come
Yes,
to
they
your
can.
place
They
and,
can.
and be there as a regular patient.
They certainly can. We are now working with Carter Circle of Care, and so those two agencies are directly across the pathway from each other. And so we have a wide variety of services that we can offer the residents in that area.
If I remember correctly, because I lived in that section of town, it's like a little shopping center.
It is a strip shopping center. Unfortunately, most of the stores have closed, so we are about the only thing in that strip shopping center. That's good for the parking.
Yes.
So we have a lot of space. People can come in and park and come in and receive services.
And that they don't have to go upstairs.
They do not. We're at one
Because I know
level.
a lot of people who couldn't make it up those
Right,
stairs, I'll tell
right.
you. Well, any chance that these doctors might be there that day?
We will actually have some medical providers there that day. We'll be also giving some Tdap immunizations. So we'll be doing some other things as well. But
What's Tdap?
Tdap is tetanus basically. So we'll be getting those. And so people can come in and meet the providers, meet the staff there, so that they'll actually get a chance to see who'll be there when they come in as a regular patient.
What are the hours?
The fair that we're actually having, or the celebration, is from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
And that's on the...
Saturday, November the 14th.
Okay. You've given us a lot of great information today, and people, I guess, can find your website.
Certainly. We are at www.myguilford.com.
Okay. So we can, because I want to find those markets, that's for sure, and
Good.
start eating healthier.
Thank
Good.
you.
Sandy, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much
us.
for
It was
having me.
great having you. And come back again if you have anything you need to tell us or advise us about. We'd be happy to have you here.
Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast. Be sure to join us again. We're here every Monday at 5:30 on Time Warner Cable Channel 69. We encourage you to connect with us on social media as well. You can like us on Facebook, search Triad Perspectives. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at triadp_ncat.jomc. Search NC Aggie TV on your YouTube, and you can visit our website, and it's called blogs@ncant.edu/TV studio. You can watch previous shows and leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you, like we did from Sandy Ellington, to let us know that you're watching and you have some ideas that you'd like to see on this show. We are open to your ideas and suggestions. So you have a great evening. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.